is not what really good coach has not been like a father to a lot of their players too.
That's right.
And to turn lives around, to show another way of being. Oftentimes, sometimes when a light goes out, the darkness that's created by a light going out usually just makes the place darker than it had been had there never been a light there in the first place. It's just I think Oprah said something about, it's not just a loss that you deal with a Chadwick Boseman, but it's an absence. The loss is one thing, but the absence, to know that you're not going to look up and see another great thing or hear another great word, because that brother did a whole lot in a little bit of time.
Yes, he did.
And the movies that he chose, the roles that he chose to play, he didn't just take any role. And the roles that he played showed I know some people would dismiss it as like, oh, this is just, Hollywood and this is entertainment, but it's really important to us as Black folk. Image is hugely important. And when we are portrayed in a good light, it's just something that makes us all proud. And that brother, in that short period of time, he just 43 short years.
Yes, sir.
Shorter than that, really, because he really blew on the scene. What, in 2013, I think?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like 2013. And then, 3 years in, and then we learned now that he had a cancer diagnosis in 2016. So from there until now, through one of the top blockbuster movies in all of film history at one point.
Yep.
He was able to do that. And he was just you just got a feeling he was a really gentle spirit. He kind of showed you what grace was in this whole arena that he was in, where it's all about self and, let me show who I am and it's all about me. He was like, no, it's really about all of us. And he was very aware. I'd like to say in large part, obviously he had some training at home, but I got to say, HBCUs are showing their importance in terms of, things that he learned at Howard University for him, things that he learned, that we learned at Morgan State, things that people learned at whatever HBCUs they go to, help move them to the next level.
That's
and
correct.
Here we are now with somebody from an HBCU who, if November goes right and y'all folks get out there and vote, we'll have somebody who went to an HBCU who's a heartbeat away from the president of the United States, the presidency of the United States. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Chadwick Boseman, his family, and all are in all of our prayers. So thankful for what he did for all of us as a community, and as decent people, humble, gracious, community centered, community focused, talented. If you don't use if you got talent and celebrity, if you don't use it to lift up everybody, if you just use it for yourself, I really don't have much use for you. I mean, nobody says you have to, but I always go back to the Sidney Poitiers, the Harry Belafontes, the Ossie Davis and Ruby Dees. All of those folks who went through all of that stuff, but who were shining examples that made folk look at Black folk differently. And Chadwick Boseman is, granted, I'm leaving out a whole lot of people between those folks and these, but those folks use their celebrity and their voice to further all of our causes. And a lot of times at great peril to them. It cut their entertainment lives short for standing up for what they believed in. Who would certainly be on these lines talking about the same kind of things that we're talking about and what we're raising and all the injustice and all that stuff. So Chadwick Boseman is going to be sorely missed, but I'm so glad, so thankful that he did pass this way. If it was just for a little while, you just don't know who's running a marathon in this world or who's running a sprint. And that brother was clearly running a sprint.
Yes, sir.
He was focused on what he did. He focused on his craft, went through, clearly was blessed, and did not disappoint. Great
Absolutely.
loss, but great life.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, what do they say? They say a long life may not be good enough, but a good life may be long enough.
Preach.
And he definitely did his thing and passed it on to others. So
Wow.
I'm all spent. I mean, we run the gamut. You know, it's too much to try to get in an hour. We had to give some more time to some of this. Unfortunately, we'll be talking about this stuff again, Chief.
Yeah, I hope not, but we probably will be.
Just folks, you got to vote. You know, we're going to say this all the way through. Vote. You know, I don't know if all of this. We'll talk about the mail-in stuff and all of that maybe next time. But
Yes,
I don't care what it is. Vote. Pull up your chairs. Do what you got to do. You know, get your mask. Get your mask ready now. Get some filters and some masks and, you know, bubble suits, hazmat suits, whatever you need, and a lawn chair, and sit your ass out there and get ready to vote, because we done tried everything else and that ain't working. The only way we're going to get this fool out of here is to vote. So, Chief,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to get off the soapbox and want to thank all the folks. Phil, I always got to thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
I know Phil got a whole lot of stuff out there. He's got all these. If y'all don't, Phil, write the book so we can have you on here.
Do it, Phil. Do it.
And put it out there.
Do it.
Tell the people, tell the community, you know,
Do it.
power the community. Let's get it together, and we'll go ahead and make this thing happen. But until next week, folks, you all stay safe. Stay out of them crowds.
Yes, sir. Stay masked up.
Stay masked up. Get your immune system right, and come on back and join us next week. But as for this week, this is Thin Bad and the Chief signing out, and we'd like to thank you for allowing us to give it to you
Straight no chaser. See ya. You've been listening to Straight No Chaser. So join us next week for more hot topics. And also, you can always catch us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and of course, iHeartRadio.